Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. We are here at the Eldora Speedway with the Southern Racing Association Lovejoy Speed Series Pro Late Model Division. Hot laps underway. I believe we're in now the second or so to last group of hot laps. All the lap times populated on the left-hand side of the screen. Keep an eye on the drivers in this group. Levi Whitlock, Braden Carter, Remington James out on the racetrack at the moment. About ready to complete their first lap in this session. Remington James here in the 36 machine goes 37th on the board at a 15:54. Whitlock at a 15:24. Braden Carter all the way up at a 14:92 in that 0:05. As he just came across the line to complete his second hot lap. A little slower on lap 2 at a 15:36. Remington James did pick up on his second lap to a 15:32 to put him 32nd quick. Whitlock stayed right there at 27th at a 15:24. That group heads into the pit area. Mason Setting, Caden Limino, Dane Norris, Kyle Hardy heading out on the racetrack now. Well, we have two Kyle Hardys on the racetrack. That's interesting. I think that might be the first time tonight. Mason Setting here in the 34, just kicking off this hot lap group. Dane Norris following behind him in that 1:15 machine, about ready to complete their first of two laps. Setting crosses the line. He goes 31st quick at a 15:28. Cade Limino at a 15:28, 29th. Dane Norris 36 at a 15:42. Kyle Hardy here at a 15:20, and the other Kyle Hardy at a 15:50. Setting did improve to a 23 on his second lap. As it looks like these hot lap sessions have went on, the lap times have slowly fallen off a little bit for these drivers, as I believe we have our last group maybe heading out there. 3 drivers did not take a time. Landon Newman, Randy Reeser, and Camden Johnson did not take a time in hot laps here tonight. That would be our 43rd, 44th, and 45th drivers. 42 did take a time in hot laps. Daniel Adam at a 14.89 seconds, quickest in the hot lap session. Braden Carter, 14:91. Ryan Hodge at a 14:92. Joseph Grandy, 14:93, and Chase Hardy, also a 14:93. That's the top 5 here, concluding the hot lap session here tonight. We should be rolling into qualifying at any moment. Just waiting on race control to finalize some things. And we will get rolling in our qualifying session. Want to welcome everybody in. Thanks everybody already for tuning in. It's our second week of coverage here with the SRA series. Week 3 overall in this series. Tonight's event was free to enter, $40 to the winner tonight. So a little money on the line for us, Tim.
Oh yeah, it's always nice. These drivers know that there's a possible payout, and they're gonna give us everything that they got.
Yeah, absolutely. When there's a little bit of money on the line as a driver, even in sim racing, that's something to shoot for. Something that you want to go out there and get for sure. Looks like a couple of drivers rolling on the bottom of the racetrack. Camden Johnson heading out of the pit area, rolling down the back straightaway and into turn 3 for the first time. See what he's able to do in that 22 machine. Going to use the bottom in 1 and 2. Lap 1 complete for Camden. He was able to run a 15.04, puts him 13th quick on the timing chart. Lap 2 for Camden did improve to a 15.02, puts him right there at the tail end of the top 10. Nice couple laps there from Camden. John Tobias on the racetrack now, just getting up to speed. Well, maybe. He might be bringing it back down into the pit lane. Looks like he is. Maybe something going on with his wheel or pedals, so doesn't want to start his laps just yet. And then the only other driver is Landon Newman to yet take a time. As that's going to conclude the hot lap session. You see the white flag up in the top left there. We're going to roll into qualifying. We'll try to bring as many of the laps to you as possible, as all these drivers will be heading out in this 3-minute session. Let's keep an eye on Daniel Adam in that 75. He was quickest. There in our hot lap session as he gets it wound up around the top, takes the green flag, in qualifying here. A host of drivers on the racetrack, pretty much 75% of the drivers on the track all at the same time right now, getting their qualifying laps in. Adam completes lap number 1. He goes a 15.06 first for now second as Michael Knuckles. Now James Braswell, best stat at a 14.97. Uh-oh, he gets up into the outside wall, must have had an issue there. Let's take a look at Braswell as he jumps out of the throttle in a 14.97. Here's Dane Norris just getting the green flag for his lap in the 115 machine. He was a 15.28 on lap 1, 22nd quick. He's going to cross the stripe here. Does he improve? No, unfortunately, he did not improve. Braden Carter showed a lot of speed in our hot lap session. He just took the green flag in the 005. Crosses the line on lap number 1. Braden at a 15.06 goes 8th quick. Noah Carpenter just popped up to the top at a 14.93 in the 42. Lap 2 for Braden Carter. A little slower to 15.19. He takes the 15.06. Noah Carpenter out of 4 down the front straightaway. Does he best his time? No, a little slower on lap 2 at a 15.36. Ryan Hodge in the 19 machine. We're taking a peek at him here. Looks like lap run for Ryan did not count, so he's got to make his second one. At the line, Ryan runs, wow, a 14.97 fourth quick. Carson Rourke at a 14.98 fifth quick. Coy Valais, the 17 machine. Camden Johnson out there as well. Camden just went to second quick on the board at a 14.94. Great lap. Coy completes his second lap. That puts him 7th quick at a 14.99. Great lap, second lap from Coy. And all zeros on the timing. Noah Carpenter is going to set our quick time tonight with a lap of 14.93 seconds. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for our first heat of the night. On the front row is going to be Noah Carpenter and Carson Rourke. Row number 2 is going to be Mason Setting and Braden Carter. Row 3 is going to be Levi Whitlock and Corey Stansel. Row 4, Jameson Rich and Caden Lemio maybe. And row 5 is going to be Remington James and Kanan Cochran. All the drivers lining up on the pit lane. Tim, tell us what the magic number is to transfer.
The magic number is the top 3.
All right, you heard it right there. You gotta be in the top 3 tonight to transfer directly into the A main. If not, you're going to be in one of the consolation races. And if you happen to fall into one of the consolation races, you're going to have to finish in the top 5 in those to move on to the next consolation. And if you make it to the B main, you got to be in the top 5 there to tag the back of The main event here tonight, 75 lap, features a long time as the pace truck peels off. Noah Carpenter steps on the gas. Green flag is out for heat race number 1. Mason Setting using the inside, trying to make something happen down low, but Carson Rourke with the run on the outside is going to prevail for now down the back straightaway into 3. Oh, car gets a little squirrely. He has to gather it back up. Braden Carter is right there on the bumper now, 3 wide, Tim, as they roll through 1 and 2.
Yeah, we had contact in the back. That's the 33T machine of Tate Law and the 89 machine of Levy Whitlock. And I just want to, we got 3 wide battle for our 9th place position. Right behind them, that's Remington James, Connor in the 33, and then we have another 33 machine of Jamison Rich.
Absolutely. 3 wide battling back here for the 9th spot. Back up front, quick check up front. Noah Carter still leads the way by a half a car length over Carson Rourke, and Braden Carter following close behind our top 3, running nose to tail in line, and then a little bit of a gap back to Mason Setting in a 34 as Levi Whitlock, I believe, had an issue. We're going to stay under green flag conditions. He had to get that car towed into the pit area, unfortunately. As it looks like Carson Rourke is kind of searching around, Tim, maybe trying to find a way around Noah Carpenter.
Yeah, it's just all about timing. If you guys at home, no, it's like taking a chance. A lot of the times it feels like it never works as a driver, but man, does it feel nice when it pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. White flag in the air. These would be your 3 transfer drivers. Noah Carpenter going to try to hold on for the win of Heat 1. Carson Rourke with a little bit of a run down the back straightaway, not much. Carpenter going to play a defensive line through 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, Noah Carpenter wins Heat 1. Carson Rourke 2nd. Braden Carter 3rd. Then Caden Limino, Mason Setting, Kanan Cochran, Tate Waugh, Jamison Rich, Remington James, Levi Whitlock will be relegated to the consolation races a little later on. So we got our first 3 starters for our main event here tonight. Now let's take a peek at the starting lineup for our 2nd heat race. On the front row is going to be Camden Johnson and Coy Vlies. Row number 2 will be Trent Dalton and Daniel Adam. Row 3 will be Troy Dorian and Casey Durand. Row 4 is going to be Blake Dulger and Aaron Roju. And row 5 is going to be Kyle Hardy. Just 1 starter, 9 to start our 2nd heat of the night. As the field begins to roll, we're going to get the green flag here. We're going to get a quick green as soon as they get out of pit lane down the back straightaway for the first time. I'm going to turn it over to my broadcast partner, and he's going to get us going for the 2nd heat. Are you there, Tim?
Yeah, I was listening to the race control. I apologize. They are going to go 1. They're going to add a lap. I apologize. They're going to add a lap here, and we're going to go green this time by. As you said, Camden Johnson's going to lead the rest of this field. Or I'm sorry. Yes, Camden Johnson is going to lead the rest of this field through turns 3 and 4 at the world famous Eldora Speedway. They're patiently going through 3. The pace truck's off. Camden fires. He's away. He gets about a car length and a half advantage. The 2 car, I believe that's Trent Dalton. He tried to slide all the way up through 2nd place. Did not have enough momentum. He lost about 3-4 spots. He's back there in 4th now as he battled off the 18 machine of Blake Dulger. And now Blake Dulger has the Troy Dorian all the way to the inside as they're 3 wide behind him. Beating and banging 2 wide off the corner for the 7th place position, trying to get up there into the transfer spot.
Oh, big move by the 35 of Kyle Hardy to the inside. Going to get a 2-for-1 in one corner. He goes from 9th to 7th there. Quick peek back up front. We got Coy Vlies making a big move on Camden Johnson. He pulled a slider. Johnson, with the run back to the inside to retake the lead, but he gets a little contact with the outside wall. That allows Coy to turn back underneath of him. And here comes Daniel Adam with a big-time slider, too.
Yeah, they're throwing sliders like it's nothing here. Just throwing them hot and heavy and trying to cross each other over, but that time Camden Johnson closed the door on that 75 machine as Coy Vlies now takes back over the lead from the slider thrown by Camden Johnson.
Absolutely. What a great battle we got up front in this one as Trent Dalton trying to make something happen down low. Gets the boot from Camden Johnston behind him down the back straightaway. Coy Vlies going to take the white flag one more time around. Daniel Adam and Trent Dalton holds on to that final transfer spot. He's got Camden Johnston right there behind him. Is he going to be able to make a move into 3? Dalton's going to play a little bit of defensive. Out of turn 4, Coy Vlies wins heat 2. Daniel Adam, Trent Dalton follows him. That's your 3 transfer cars. Camden Johnston, Blake Dolger, Kyle Hardy, Aaron Rochoux, Casey Durand, and Troy Dorian. All will be relegated to the consolations. Starting lineup for our third of 5 heat races here tonight. Michael Carter, Chase Hardy will be row 1. Row 2 will be Dylan Gibbs and Travis Anderson. Row 3 is going to be Logan Codelez and Jason Smith. Row 4 is going to be Calvin Crawley and John Tobias. And row 5 is going to be James Gray. I'll tell you what, 45 drivers signed in on a given night for a league race. The SRA series has something special going on here with these pro late models. That's a great crop of drivers for a Tuesday night league race to boot, Tim.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's nice to have these big fields. As we are green, Michael Carter off to a great start over the rest of the Heat 3 field. As they're 3 wide, beating and banging, almost 4 wide. It's a 51 finally of Chase Hardy. Big contact. I was just going to say, as he's clear out into second, but he's got big damage. They stay green. They're around, and I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Racing Control probably will have to take a peek at that, as there was some extracurriculars on the front straightaway. But back to the battle up front. Carter still leads the way. Then Calvin Crawley and Logan Codelez battling for the second spot. Codelez turns back underneath Crawley with a slide job through 3 and 4. Crawley actually made contact with the outside wall a bit. It looked like through 3 and 4, but his car is going to remain going on the straight and narrow for now as they continue to trade slide jobs for the second position. Michael Carter has a 4/10 of a second advantage to these two. Then Travis Anderson in the 45 is back about 3/4 of a second from a transfer spot for now.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is what Michael Carter wants to see. He wants to see these guys battling it out. I don't know if they have rear view mirrors in this league, or if they're allowed to have rear view mirrors, I should say. But even if, I'm sure he's paying attention to that relative, seeing the names swap back and forth.
Absolutely. It's kind of settled down the past couple laps as Codelez has held on to that second spot for now. The top 3 are just single file. Travis Anderson has a long road to hoe if he wants to get up there and challenge for a transfer spot, as we have less than a lap to go now. The white flag is already in the air. Michael Carter dominating this third heat of the night. Nice and smooth through 3 and 4. He's going to get the checkered flag. Logan Codelez and Calvin Crawley will be the other 2 transfer cars Travis Anderson, Jason Smith, James Gray, John Nobias, then Chase Hardy and Dylan Gibbs will have to go into the consolation races. Heat race number 4, starting grid. James Braswell Jr. and Randy Reeser on the front row. Michael Nuckel's and Joshua Kunstbeck. Row 2. Row 3 will be R.J. Miller and Hunter McDougal. Row 4 will be Jared Helms and Dane Norris. Row 5 is going to be Michael Farmer in the 98. Field begins to roll out of the pit lane. We're going to look to take 3 more cars. We already have the first 9 cars locked into the feature. 20 cars overall will start our 75-lap main event here tonight. Pace truck peels off. James Braswell steps on the gas. Green flag waves. Heat 4 underway here at the Eldora Speedway. Braswell a little bit tight out of turn 2. That allows second and third place Knuckles and Reeser to close in, but we got side-by-side action. Now 3 wide down the front straightaway for the 4th spot. The 88 machine of R.J. Miller thought about sliding all the way up the hill and thought better of it. It's going to stay down low for now. Still run the middle part of the racetrack. That leaves the door open for Kunstbeck right behind him, and he's going to try a crossover, maybe a big-time slider. Not quite as big as I expected, but now Joshua Kunstbeck into the 4th spot, sets his sights forward on Randy Reeser in the O2 machine. Hunter McDougal with an issue. He's into the work area.
Man, these drivers they're going all out. They want to be guaranteed into the feature. And they know they have to finish top 3. Can Joshua in the 27, it's the 2 machine on our cameras, and our scoring sheet is showing the 21. Can he get up there to Randy in the 3rd place position?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of time, 2.5 laps now, so the laps are clicking away fast. You know, he's closing, eating a little bit of that advantage here. 2 to go at the line. Side by side up front for the lead. A little bit of a slider from Michael Knuckles. They have a little bit of contact, a little damage on the nose of James Braswell. Braswell's going to look to repay the favor and runs Knuckles up into the wall. And I'm telling you what, they're slow. And here comes Randy Reeser with the full head of steam as they take the white flag. Braswell with a little bit of defensive move through 1 and 2, but Reeser with a good run on the outside. He's going to keep it wound up there. Braswell down low, going to let the car drift up. Reeser's going to have to turn back hard underneath of him. Drag racing to the line. James Braswell holds on, and Joshua Kunstbeck did make it, Tim, as he got by into that final transfer spot. R.J. Miller, Dane Norris, Michael Farmer, Jared Helms, and Michael Knuckles, as well as Hunter McDougal, did not transfer out of Heat 4 tonight. Wow, what an exciting finish, folks. That was awesome to conclude our 4th heat of the night.
I think the track is coming in. I think we're at a perfect state right now, as we're gonna get ready to start Heat 5 here.
Absolutely. The starting lineup looks like this here. Ryan Hodge, Joe Garcia, row 1. Row 2 will be Sean Roberts and Kyle A. Hardy. Row 3 is going to be Joseph Grandy and Big Mike. Row 4 is going to be Lizzie Smith and Brent Pryor. Row 5 is going to be Landon Newman. As the field rolls out of the pit lane onto the banking of Eldora Speedway. Landon Newman not going to make the call, so 8 cars to start our 5th and final heat race of the night. As the pace truck's going to peel off, Ryan Hodge in control. He fires right in the middle of 3 and 4. Green flag is out, and a great start for Hodge in the 19 machine. Joe Garcia's got going there side by side for third. Sean Roberts, Kyle A. Hardy, and they run right up on the back end of Joe Garcia, maybe 3 wide for second. That's going to allow Sean Roberts to slide up across the nose of Garcia. Garcia with a crossover. They make contact, and unfortunately Sean Roberts, heavy damage, losing the right front wheel, will have to tow to the pit lane, and we're going to remain under green, and they're still battling side by side for second, third, and fourth, Tim.
Yeah, I had to clean my eyes out. I didn't know if we were at Talladega with the bump draft down the backstretch there, as we're possibly going to see one again. No, 3 wide and into 3. The 518 machine's going to slide all the way up. There's still 3 wide. Crossovers being made. They're swapping lines. Every chance they get, I don't know the words that need to be said right now.
I'll tell you what, we got great battling, and I love to see it. This is awesome and as clean as can be up to this point for the second, third, and sports spot. Joe Garcia, Kyle A. Hardy, and Joseph Grandy fighting over the top 3. Grandy on the outside looking in, and Garcia runs him into the outside wall and damage to Joseph Grandy. That's going to allow Brent Pryor to take really big advantage of that with 2.5 laps to go. He's into the top 3. Joe Garcia now finds himself on the outside looking in. And Ryan Hodge, all the meanwhile, has ran away up to 1 3/4 of a second to the rest of the field. Brent Pryor, a couple car lengths back to Joe Garcia. Go ahead.
I was going to say also Kyle A. Hardy, who was battling with those 2 other cars that made contact. He was all the way on the inside. He moves up to the second place position with no one to worry about behind him.
Absolutely. Ryan Hodge working the cushion through 3 and 4 for the final time. Crosses the stripe, takes the checkered flag in heat race 5. Kyle Hardy second. Our final transfer will be Brent Pryor. Joe Garcia, Lizzie Smith, Joseph Grandy, Big Mike, Sean Roberts, Landon Newman do not transfer out of the heat. This should be the starting lineup of our potentially D main or C main, Tim.
This is the D main. I apologize.
Starting lineup for the D main. We're going to be taking 5 out of this one, and they will tag the back of the C. Jared Helms, Big Mike will be row 1. Jamison Rich and Casey Durand, row 2. Chase Hardy, Michael Knuckles, row 3. Sean Roberts, Remington James, row 4. Troy Dorian and Dylan Gibbs, row 5. Row 6 is going to be Hunter McDoodle and Landon Newman. As the field is already rolling out of the pit area, it looks like Hunter McDougall, Landon Newman not going to make the call, so 11 cars to start for 5 spots to tag the back of the C main. Looks like race control has added an extra lap. And you know these drivers, Tim, they want so bad to be in that top 5 and to continue racing on here tonight, or at least have an opportunity to race on here tonight. And we'll have to keep an eye. Will anybody be able to transfer from this D main through the C and the B and tag the back of the A? Time is going to tell, and we're about to find out.
Yeah, there was a couple cases where in the heats I would have figured that people would have just been content where they were riding, and they overstepped the line and they kind of cost them or someone else a spot as we are rolling here in our D main.
Green flag in the air. Jared Helms side by side. That's Big Mike, Chase Hardy, Jamison Rich. A part of that is Rich. Looks like he got kind of slow through the center and holds up some of the field. But you got Big Mike, Chase Hardy into second, third, and then it's side by side. Sean Roberts, Jamison Rich, Remington James, all close together for 4th, 5th, and 6th. This is that cutoff line for the transfer. And then Troy Dorian and Dylan Gibbs right behind them. Wow, great run through the center for Remington James. Closes up right on the rear bumper of Jamison Rich. Rich gets a little bit into the outside wall. Remington James tried the inside, nothing doing there. Dylan Gibbs with a great run on the outside is going to look to pass Remington James into 36 as a 033 gets into the wall. Once again, we're 3 wide for the 5th and final transfer spot. Dylan Gibbs slides across the nose. There's contact behind him, and he's going to try to run away in the 5th spot for now. Now Remington James, Jamison Rich, Levi Whitlock all on the outside looking in. Troy Dorian as well. Back up front, Jared Helms leads the way, but he's challenged right now by Chase Hardy in that 51 machine. Big time slide job from Sean Roberts, but Big Mike's going to turn right back underneath of him and retake the 3rd spot for now. Dylan Gibbs closing in on that battle, is separating himself just a little bit by 0.8 of a second back to Remington James in the 36 machine.
Yeah, Dylan Gibbs running about 0.2 a lap faster than our 6th place runner, Remington James, just not able to get the momentum he wants so far, as now we 3-car battle for the 4th and 3rd position, I believe. That, yes. 3, 4, and 5 are all almost 3 wide through 3 and 4.
Yeah, Gibbs moves up to 4th now. Big Mike back to 5th and holding on to the final transfer spot. Jared Helms slides across the nose of, I believe that was Jared Helms. No, that was Chase Hardy. Yeah. They're battling side by side for the lead.
We took the white flag. Here we come through to the checkers. Through 3 and 4. Jared Helms not enough on the inside. Chase Hardy the wins. Sean Roberts in 3rd. Dylan Gibbs 4th. And Michael in 5th.
Yep, those are our 5 transfers to go to the back of the C. Remington James, Troy Dorian, Levi Whitlock, Jamison Rich, Casey Duran, Michael Nichols, Landon Newman, Hunter McDougal. We'll have to call it a night, unfortunately. As we'll take a look at the starting lineup of the C main here tonight. It's going to be Lizzie Smith and Kanan Cochran, row 1. Kyle Hardy, James Gray, row 2. Michael Farmer and Joseph Grandy, row 3. Tate Waugh and Aaron Roju, row 4. John Tobias and Chase Hardy, row 5. Row number 6 is going to be Jared Helms and Sean Roberts. Row 7 will be Dylan Gibbs and Big Mike. So you got 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. Those are our transfers from our D main. 12 laps the distance in our C main. Remember, we got to take the top 5 out of this, and they will tag the back of tonight's B main. As they work around 2 by 2. Again, we'll keep an eye on our D main drivers as they try to make their way into the top 5 here. I know Blake Richards said Dylan Gibbs was the car to watch in the D main. He certainly was. Made his way into a transfer spot. We'll see how he fares in this C main. We get the green flag. We're underway in the C main. A good start from Kanan Cochran on the outside. Lizzie Smith, they about fired at the exact same time. Smith on the inside, not able to keep that momentum up. Cochran to the lead. Smith trying to battle back on the inside. Kyle Hardy working the outside. Oh, there's contact. Lizzie Smith gets into the outside wall and collects Sean Roberts. Chase Hardy as well. We're getting collected into that one. Kanan Cochran has ran away by a half a second over Kyle Hardy, and then it's 2 wide behind him. Joseph Grandy, James Gray, Michael Farmer, and Tate Waugh are battling side by side for the 5th and final transfer spot. Then behind them you have Dylan Gibbs, Jared Helms, Big Mike, and John Tobias. Gibbs into the 7th spot is making some nice moves. He's got the transfer in his sight in front of him, and he's going to try to make a big time move, and it's 4 wide, almost out of turn 4. Cars are almost getting turned. My goodness, that was really, really tight out of 4.
It's not over.
Yeah, Gibbs and Helms make contact. Excuse me, that was Gibbs and Farmer make contact. Tate was holding into that final transfer spot for now. And that 33T machine as they're clanging off of one another for the 3rd spot. That's Kyle Hardy and James Gray.
Here comes Dylan Gibbs. He's looking to close the gap on Tate Watt as he now elects to run the high line right behind Tate as he's able to drive off the corner. It looks like a lot better as Tate drives it in. He's almost 3 wide with the 2 cars ahead of him. That would be the 35 machine of Kyle Hardy and James Gray.
Whoa, what a move to the middle. I don't know how.
My goodness, 4 wide. They're still going straight.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Gibbs part of that one. No yellow in the C main. Kanan Cochran still leads the way. Joseph Grandy is now in the 2nd spot. Then Corey Stansel, Kyle Hardy 3rd and 4th, and Jared Helms holds on to the 5th and final transfer spot.
Goodness.
Man, Dylan Gibbs had such a run going there, and it was 3-4 wide, and everybody just ran out of real estate, and Dylan Gibbs unfortunately paid the worst price for it. And these guys there have quite a big gap back to Michael Farmer, so the top 5 was all but sealed as long as they don't wreck each other. As Kanan Cochran takes the white flag, a 2nd advantage back to Joseph Grandy. What a nice C main for Kanan. Kept the car clean and ran away from the calamity behind him. As he comes out of turn 4 to take the checkered flag. Joseph Grandy will be 2nd. 3rd at the line is going to be Tate Watt, and Kyle Hardy in 4th, and Jared Helms, that final transfer position. Michael Farmer, Big Mike, Dylan Gibbs, John Tobias, James Gray, Lizzie Smith, Chase Hardy, Aaron Roju, and Sean Roberts. Those drivers will have to call it a night. All right, it is B main time. And on the front row is going to be Caden Limino and Camden Johnston. Row 2 is going to be Travis Anderson and RJ Miller. Row 3, Joe Garcia and Mason Setting. Row 4, Blake Dolger and Jason Smith. Row 5 is going to be Dane Norris and Kanan Cochran. Row 6 is going to be Joseph Grandy and Tate Waugh, excuse me. And row 7 is going to be Kyle Hardy and Jared Helms. As I believe, Tim, we did not have any of our D main transfer through that C main, unfortunately.
No, we did not. We were going to have one, but we had the incident down the front straightaway. I think that took the hopes away from maybe a driver or two.
Yeah, I think you're right. Is there was that get together on the front straightaway, like you said, and unfortunately ended some of those drivers' nights right then and there as the pace truck turns off of the racetrack. Green flag goes in the air. Caden Limio, excuse me, takes the green flag. Travis Anderson clear into 2nd. We're side by side for 3rd between Camden Johnston and Blake Dolger. Now it's going to be 3 wide potentially. It was for a slight 2nd. As Joe Garcia and RJ Miller battling for the final transfer spot. Blake Dolger a part of it there in the 18 machine as well. Mason Setting with an issue. His car is in the pit area. Unfortunate for him. Uh-oh! One car losing steering maybe and goes up into the 33 of Kanan Cochran. Both of those machines with heavy damage. And Camden Johnston in the 22 in the outside wall collecting more cars. There, we have calamity in our B main here tonight. Caden Limio, Travis Anderson, 1 and 2. Anderson underneath him, and he almost gets turned. As Limio tried the crossover, RJ Miller runs up right behind Anderson. That's the top 3. Then Jason Smith holds on to the 4th spot, and Tate Waugh in the 33T machine battling with Dane Norris. That's for the 5th spot.
Fellas, you're gonna make it. Just settle down, log the laps. You're gonna make it. The top 3 going back and forth, almost making contact with one another.
Absolutely. They're actually going to be 3 wide out of turn 4 right here, Tim.
Yeah, I think they're starting to realize, hey, let's back it down here. We're all gonna be in the main here, as they're all now giving each other room.
Absolutely.
Also, Jason Smith in 4th, he'll be in there, and then you have Dane Norris, who has took over the 5th and final spot.
Yep, he holds a slight half-second advantage back to the 518 machine of Joseph Grandy. Then you have Tate Waugh in the 33T machine right behind them on the outside looking in. But up front, RJ Miller now builds a half-second advantage over Caden Limio. Travis Anderson in the 3rd spot, tried to take a peek underneath, but like you said, Tim, I believe these drivers might be listening to the broadcast. It's kind of the tension, the aggressiveness have dialed down just a touch, as they probably have realized they are in a transfer position. As Dane Norris, Joseph Grandy is side by side. That's a battle for the final spot. Grandy underneath Dane Norris with a great move down the back straightaway, as Norris blinking just a touch. Grandy moves into the 5th spot for now. Norris trying to run back underneath of him, not able to do it that time. He's running out of laps to do so. Grandy likes where he is at the current moment. 2 to go this time for our top 5. They run up on the lap machine. RJ Miller one more time around as he works down the back straightaway. And into 3 and 4, RJ Miller is going to win the B main here tonight. Caden Limio will be 2nd, Travis Anderson 3rd, Jason Smith 4th, and Joseph Grandy holds on for the 5th and final transfer spot. Dane Norris, Tate Waugh, Kyle Hardy, Jared Helms, Mason Setting, Joe Garcia, Blake Dolger, Kanan Cochran, and Camden Johnston. Those drivers will have to call it a night, as we now have our 20-car field for our main event. We got a quick 3-minute warm-up for these drivers. Logan Coteles, thank you for letting us know. I know I've been probably butchering your name, and I'm sorry, but I'm glad you chimed in to let us know. Coteles, thank you very much, sir. We're going to take this time, folks, step away, get a word from a couple of sponsors, and we'll be right back for the starting lineup for our main event.
You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram. are capable of winning races. But you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We want to thank Richard Murtaugh Racing Academy and Premier Racing Setups for their continued support of the Buckeye Racing Network. Don't forget to use the code Buckeye15 over on the PRS website for 15% off and a setup. Try Premier Racing Setups today. All right, everybody, it is feature time. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Row number 1 for the big show is going to be Ryan Hodge in the 19 and James Braswell Jr. in the 109. Row 2 is going to be Michael Carter in the 015 and Coy Vlies in the 17. Row 3 is going to be Noah Carpenter in the 42 and Carson Rourke in the 05. Row 4 is going to be Daniel Adam in the 75 and Logan Coteles in the 64. Row number 5 is going to be Randy Reeser in the 02 and Kyle Hardy in the 39. Row 6 is going to be Braden Carter in the 005 and Trent Dalton in the 2. Row 7 tonight is going to be Calvin Crawley in the 21 and Joshua Kunstbeck in the 27. Row 8, Brent Pryor in the 50 and RJ Miller in the 88. Row number 9 is going to be Caden Lemio in the 3 and Travis Anderson in the 45. And the 10th and final row here tonight is going to be Jason Smith in the 13 and Joseph Grandy in the 518. All right, Tim, it is that time of the night. We pick our drivers to watch. Who are you going to keep your eye on?
Oh, gee. There's so many drivers to choose from. It's going to be hard to narrow it down. I might need another couple seconds here. How about you tell us what your pick's going to be?
I'm going to be keeping my eye on Braden Carter in the 005 here tonight. Had speed all night long. He's starting on the inside of the 5th row. That's going to be my driver to watch.
All right, I'm going to keep my eye on Daniel Adam in the 75, who just blanked out for a quick second. He's there.
He's there, and now he's gone.
Looks like a little Carolina blue action on that car. Let's see what he can do with that.
Absolutely. Folks, let us know out there in the chat your drivers to watch. As the pace truck is off, we are ready to roll 75 laps. The distance, $40 to win this main event. We are green. Braswell with a good run out of turn number 2. They're going to be side by side for the lead into 3. Braswell on the inside. Hodge up on the cushion. Lap 1 in the books. Ryan Hodge leads it over James Braswell and Coy Vlies in the 3rd position. Then you have Michael Carter, Noah Carpenter side by side for the 4th position. 3 wide just behind them, Carson Rourke, Randy Reeser, Daniel Adam, all a part of that mix as well. Looks like most of the field teams decided to use the inside line early on in this 75 lapper.
Yeah, the lucky I'm not on the track. I would have taken the whole field out by now, as we have contact made for that 2nd place position at the time, all the way down on the inside. That's Coy Vlies and Noah Carpenter kind of got into the left rear of Coy in the 17 machine down on the bottom. They're making their way through 3 and 4 once again. Coy changed it up. He went up to the high line. As you're going to have Michael Carter to the outside of Noah Carpenter now, who is also being looked on as a pass, is possibly going to be made here by Daniel Adam in the 75 machine. He looks all the way to the outside, possibly. No, Michael shuts the door. Or I'm sorry. Yes, Michael shuts the door.
Back up front, they've been battling for the lead. James Braswell Jr. has it. Ryan Hodge wants it as they are nose to tail as they complete lap number 7 here, and they're both going to be running the bottom through 1 and 2. Braswell kind of slips up a little bit on exit. Hodge closes in even closer, as I think just a little bit of contact between the two as they now move up to the cushion on the outside. Hodge looking to the inside, though, this time through 1 and 2. Braswell up on the outside. Hodge just gets the nose ahead. They bang doors, entering 3. Hodge to the lead for now, but Braswell with a crossover down the front straightaway. It was a dead heat at the line as they're going to continue to swap the top spot. Coy Vlies, he's closing in right there and wants a piece of the action himself as well. If they keep sliding like this, that's going to allow the field to close back up. Vlies is there. Michael Carter, he's coming along in the 15. And then, like you said, Daniel Adam, Noah Carpenter, the top 6. Logan Codeliz there in the 7th spot. Carson Rourke. Then Braden Carter rolling through the middle in the 9th spot for now. Randy Reeser rounds out the top 10 in the 99, or the 02 machine, excuse me. The 99 machine there is Kyle Hardy. So he takes a peek to the inside. This is battling right there inside of the top 10. We have battles all over the Eldora Speedway. We're going to go back up front and check on the battle there. Hodge has since retaken the race lead over Braswell. And then Vlies losing touch just a little bit with these two as he's continuing to work the inside part of the racetrack. Both Hodge and Braswell up on the cushion. Michael Carter finds himself 2 seconds back of the lead with a closing Daniel Adam behind him.
Top 7 run single file as we, top 8, 9. I guess top 9. It was top 7 for a little bit, but our first battle would be the 10th place position as we're 3 wide out of turn 4. That came out of nowhere. Here comes Caden Lemieux. I butchered that.
It might be Lemieux.
Yeah, Lemieux. Wow, that's terrible. Not a terrible name, just terrible rendition of me saying it. He finally makes a pass for 10th. He's off and away. He's off to the races as 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th are all under a blanket. They're battling it out. I believe that's Kyle A. Hardy all the way to the inside of that 99 machine, looking to make a pass on Calvin Crawley, who's also in the 99 machine. They're both trying to work over that 50 machine of Brent Pryor.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick peek back up front. Hodge now opening up a slight advantage over Braswell. Just about a handful of car lengths as Braswell has a mirror full of Coy Vlies there behind him. 20 laps in the books this time around. 55 laps still to go. Michael Carter losing a little bit of touch to the top 3. He's got a Daniel Adam and Noah Carpenter right there behind him. So 4th, 5th, and 6th is all together on the racetrack. Then I get back at the Logan Codeliz. Then Braden Carter, Randy Reeser, and Caden Lemieux rounds out the top 10. He is +7 in this feature, so a great run up to this point for Caden. As we head back up front to the race lead. Hodge loses a little bit of time back to Braswell. Braswell has closed that advantage in the past couple of laps. Looks like both cars just both working the outside, maybe logging a little bit of laps because there's still a long way to go here at Eldora. The track is taking a lot of rubber and it's going to continue to slick off as more laps are ran. Check on the battle for the fourth spot as you see Michael Carter holding on to fourth. Then Noah Carpenter past Daniel Adam to put him into the fifth spot. Adam falls back to sixth. Logan Kodal is closing in on him as he's going to look to the inside of that 75 machine. Nothing doing that time.
James Braswell went to the inside. He got covered off by Ryan Hodge. Going through 1 and 2 for the lead. I was just gonna say something real quick about them as they're battling it out. They're less than half a track away, probably less, about a straightaway away from the caboose of Joseph Grandy.
Yeah, lap traffic is going to play a role here tonight for the leaders, I do believe, as they are about a straightaway or so from the 518 of Joseph Grandy. Braswell all over Hodge for the lead, as those two have been fighting since the drop of the green flag. Coy Vlies taps the outside wall just a bit. He's 0.8 of a second back. Michael Carpenter running solo fourth here with a gap back to Noah Carpenter.
James Braswell slides into the lead. Ryan Hodge back underneath there. He's going to slide all the way up, take a slider line. He's going to go all the way up back to the lead. Ryan Hodge, that is, as they're now back to their respective positions.
And they're continuing to battle, man. They have not let each other relax up to this point. Braswell back underneath of him, a dead even race at the line that time to complete lap number 32. That's allowed Coy Vlies in the 17 to close that advantage back up. That 17 machine has some speed and momentum build up from these top two. We've got a battle back here for the 9th spot. Cade Lemieux holds on to it. He just took over the spot from Randy Reeser to pick up another position, now +8 in the feature. Reeser back to 10th. Checking on if there's any battles through the field. Jason Smith, RJ Miller is pretty close. Travis Anderson, Joshua Kunstbeck there as well, and Joseph Grandy following right at the tail. The top three back underneath of a blanket, nose to tail, all running the outside line.
Joseph Grandy, he's closed the gap up for that 19th position. Maybe he was just saving tire. He could possibly make his way up through the field now as he's trying to find a path around the rest of these other race cars out that he is behind.
Yeah, 3 wide for a second there as Travis Anderson's looking to improve a couple of spots in that 45. Going to do so using the outside line. Back up front, Braswell with a slider on Ryan Hodge. Hodge turns it back underneath of him for a crossover move. Hodge back to the lead. Braswell with the momentum on the outside. He's going to have a crossover down the back straight into 3. Coy Vlies just wants to be a part of it, or maybe he's just taking it all in. Maybe seeing how if these two might slip up, make a mistake, and collect each other. Vlies going to run the inside. Hodge and Braswell continuing to trade the lead back and forth lap for lap. Man, they're starting to hit off the outside wall, Tim.
Yeah, they are. That track is so slicked off. It's tricky to get around this place. But I'm thinking Coy Vlies, he's just sitting back. He's like, hey, guys, you use up the tires. I'm just going to lay back here and save them. These race tires are expensive. You guys use them up so I don't have to battle you hard later in the race.
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing, folks, isn't it? Braswell and Hodge trading the spot back and forth lap for lap. Great show by these two here tonight at the Eldora Speedway. And I'll tell you, that cushion must be getting really, really thin up there.
Yeah, Hodge found himself in the wall. He's found himself bouncing off the wall a couple times here. Luckily, it's not too hard of an impact where he's running on that car. Nothing seems to be broken yet.
Not yet, but he's definitely been toying with the outside wall and making a little bit of contact here and there. Now Bly's looking underneath Braswell for the second spot, as he's been committed to running lower than these two, maybe to just try to get around, switch things up, and run a little bit different line. As we look back to the fourth spot, we've had a change. Noah Carpenter has since made it around Michael Carter. He's now fourth. Carter back to fifth. Logan Kodelis is sixth. Then Braden Carter in seventh, as he is battling actually the 75 machine of Daniel Adam. Adam throws the slide job in 3 and 4. Carter going to turn back underneath of him and retake the seventh spot. That battle, I don't think it's quite done yet, as Carter gets really loose on exit, makes contact. Adam with a good run into 3 and retakes the 7th position for now. Carter struggling a bit on the outside. Then Randy Reeser has since made his way back into the top 10. Calvin Crawley in the 99. Trent Dalton and Caden Lemieux side by side as well. That's all for 9th, 10th, and 11th on the racetrack. Quick check back up front. Hodge starting to put a little bit of a gap back to the other two cars, as Bly's and Braswell are side by side.
Hey, remember a couple laps ago, I was just talking about Joseph Grandy, as he was the caboose. He's moved all the way up to 15th, trying to make the pass for 14th on Kyle A. Hardy. He's trying to complete the pass as Kyle Hardy all the way back to the inside, trying to possibly slide. Not enough room there. He lets Joseph by, as we got a yellow on the track.
Absolutely, we do. And I believe Joshua Kunstbeck was the cause. We'll go back and take a look at what happened. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I did have the replay pulled up. Let's try that again. Keep an eye on that black and yellow 2 machine as we slow things down. It looks like maybe right front issues for Kunstbeck, as here comes the leaders by on the inside, and he was just stopped at the exit of 4. They had no decision but to throw the yellow flag, as that was a dangerous position for Kunstbeck to be in, the exit of turn 4. "51 laps, green flag." These drivers get to catch their breath a little bit for the yellow. Carson Rourke currently scored out of the race in the 20th position. Joshua Kunstbeck 1 lap down now in the 19th spot.
Hey, we get a chance to fire up our old oxygen tanks up here, as we desperately needed some air.
Absolutely is. As these fellas tonight putting on a great show, and there has not been one dull moment of action as the leaders have been trading that spot. I have lost count of how many lead changes we've had. If anybody has a number, I would be surprised. We've had quite a few as we are double filed up. Pace truck has peeled off. We are back to green flag action. Look at Braswell with the big move, but it did not stick. And he's got some damage, losing the spoiler on his machine, and he falls all the way back, almost out of the top 10 as he's into the outside wall once again for Braswell.
He doesn't have a spoiler on that machine, and that's not going to help with how slick this track is right now. He's going to have to hold on for the next 20 or so laps.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Hodge now tries to pull away from the field. Noah Carpenter says thank you very much. He's now the new second place position. And Coy Vly still third, but challenged. Logan Kotelis to the inside with a big time slide job. He takes the third spot. Don't look now, but here comes, who was that on the inside? I think that was Braden Carter making a big time move on Kotelis. Coy Vly turns back underneath of him, and we have a serious battle for the third spot, and we have cars getting outside wall. Braswell almost stopped trying to get into the pit lane. A yellow flag being displayed for the second time. You know, the old saying goes, cautions breed cautions. Now, we did get some green flag laps in there, but man, let's go back and see originally what the yellow flag was brought out for. It had to be from the Braswell issue. As you see, he was stopped at the outside of 3 and 4. Car wouldn't turn, and he's just trying to get into the pit area, I believe. Here, but here comes the field around on the outside, and he is just not in a good spot. Coy Vlies loses a tire. Heavy damage to his machine after his solid run up to this point.
I think that Coy Vlies incident was a separate, totally separate incident from James Braswell. Going into 3, there was a lot of contact between the 4 drivers there.
Yeah, there was a crazy battle brewing. Braswell trying to get into the pit area, and the drivers trying everything they can to improve their positions as Logan Kotelis visits the work area in the 64 machine. Braden Carter now in the third spot. Fourth's going to be Michael Carter. That's father-son in row 2. Then row 3, that's Daniel Adam. And I believe Calvin Crawley in that white 99. The white and gray 99, actually. Braswell has rejoined the field. Going to tag the back as we're going to look to go green here, I think. Looks like we'll get one more lap of pacing. Coy Vlies looks like he's called it a night in the 17. 2 cars now scored out. Tell you, Ryan Hodge might have a connection issue as he has not returned on screen. That would be really unfortunate for Hodge as he has not returned. So Braden Carter is actually going to, the whole inside line is going to move up a row, and Carter is going to be the leader on the inside of row number 1. Wow, really unfortunate for Ryan Hodge. Is now, at least on my scoring, he is showing out.
Did he drop?
I believe he did.
All right, well, he still hasn't dropped yet, so he might have, but it hasn't showed through iRacing yet, so we'll see. I'll keep you updated on that.
Well, the light's going out on the pace truck, so we are going to get a restart this time. You're going to have Braden Carter, Noah Carpenter, row 1, Daniel Adam, Michael Carter, row 2, Calvin Crawley, Trent Dalton will be row 3. Carter is the control car. He steps on the gas. Green flag back in the air. Braden Carter to the lead. Noah Carpenter following right behind him. It's going to be really tight. 3 wide for the lead. Adam on the inside. Carpenter in the middle. Carter on the outside. He makes contact with the outside wall. Michael Carter wants to be a part of the battle. And he's looking way down to the inside through 1. He gives Daniel Adam a little bit of help. He goes up in the outside wall. Braden Carter retakes the lead. Noah Carpenter to the inside with a big-time slide job incoming. He brushes the outside wall. My goodness, what a battle for the lead. There is still plenty of time for any of these drivers to get up there and challenge for the win. As things...
Michael Carter got into the outside wall. They're 4 or 5 wide.
Oh my
possibly
goodness.
6 wide. Oh my goodness.
Michael Carter stopping on the outside of turn number 3 and 4. We're still under the green flag for now. We'll see what happens. I hope he has since towed as Braden Carter makes contact with the outside wall. Noah Carpenter with a good move. Now Carter with a big time slide job incoming. Carpenter crossover out of turn 2 down the back straightaway to retake the lead. I believe Braden having some issues with running the outside there as he was kind of stuck on the wall ever so slightly. Daniel Adam takes advantage of that as he slides across the nose of Carter, but crossover move for Carter down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Daniel Adam, he's almost a slider line through 1 and 2. He's all the way down to the bottom. He's gonna elect to not slide up here. He's gonna keep it down there as he tries to complete the pass on that 5 machine of Braden Carter. As Carter slides right down below to retake that second place position. Noah Carpenter loves what he sees in that rear view if they're allowed to have him.
I tell you what, he's up over a second now, is Noah Carpenter. And don't look now, Tim. Who were you talking about earlier in that 518 machine, and where does he find himself? Inside of the top 5 in the 4th spot, just 2.5 seconds back. Boy, if we have another yellow, look out, because Joseph Grandy has climbed through the field plus 16 positions. As they're still battling up in front of him for the 2nd spot. That's Braden Carter and Daniel Adam.
Yeah, even that 518 machine, Joseph Grandy, he's in 4th place, as you just said. He must have been saving his tire or something. I mean, he was just almost going a lap down as the caboose not too long ago. He finds himself up in the top 5. He's looking to chase down, possibly. He could get up all the way up to 2nd if we don't have a yellow.
Yeah, it just depends, because Braden Carter, Daniel Adam have been going at one another here. All the meanwhile, that's allowing Noah Carpenter to stretch the advantage even further. He is 1.7 ahead in
yellow.
Absolutely. Travis Anderson is the cause of this latest accident. We're going to see exactly what happened to the 45 machine, as he was running solo on the racetrack. Looks like maybe he got really loose in the center, maybe trying to get into the pit lane, and he just overshot it and hit the water barrels there and came to a stop right in front of the leader of Noah Carpenter. And that was enough to bring out the yellow flag. We are going to get another restart. The field's going to bunch back up. And we've seen these restarts, Tim. They have been crazy.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly here. I mean, we've got cars bouncing one off each other. You got 4 or 5, maybe 6 wide there for a split second. I don't know. I didn't know that there was that many lanes at Eldora. It almost looked like we were at Auto Club for a moment there.
Yeah, absolutely. These restarts have been something else with these cars, and we have seen 3 and 4 wide action. And I expect nothing different here on this one, except inside of 10 to go, we are going to get a single file restart. Noah Carpenter, Daniel Adam, Braden Carter, Joseph Grandy, Calvin Crawley. The top 5 here. We're going to get the green flag with 7 laps to go. As the pace truck peels off, Carpenter in control. He fires, gets a good launch. Green flag back in the air for the restart. Braden Carter, wasting no time, takes a peek to the inside of Adam. Nothing doing there. He's going to stay in the 3rd spot for now. Joseph Grandy in the 518, trying to get some momentum build up to challenge Braden Carter for the 3rd spot. As he's doing that, Calvin Crawley is all over him as well. Looking down to the inside with a big-time slide job incoming, but was not clear. Want to settle back up in the 5th spot. Up front, Carpenter, couple car length advantage back to Adam in 2nd. Then Braden Carter and Joseph Grandy. All single file for the top 5 as every driver looks like they're using that outside line to their advantage. Another good run for another driver, Caden Lemieux, in the 3 machine. He's plus 11 on the night. Putting together a solid effort. RJ Miller right behind him, plus 9. But Noah Carpenter out to a 2nd advantage now over Daniel Adam, who's being challenged by Braden Carter. Carter with a big-time slide job, bangs off the outside wall. Adam turns back underneath of him, just 2 laps to go. The 2nd place still up for grabs in this one. Carpenter out to a 2nd and a quarter. Another slide job, but Adam gets into the wall a little bit. That's going to help Braden Carter as I believe Joseph Grandy with a big issue, and that's going to hurt him quite a bit. Daniel Adam back underneath of Braden Carter. They're going to continue to battle for 2nd. But out of turn number 4, what a run for Noah Carpenter. He's going to win and take the $40 tonight at the Eldora Speedway at the line drag racing. Braden Carter, Daniel Adam will be 2nd and 3rd. That's our podium positions. We'll get to talk to those drivers here in a few moments. Man, heartbreak for Joseph Grandy.
Yeah, I was
2 to go.
Gonna say, absolute heartbreak. All that just for nothing. Throw it in the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, it just heavy contact in the car kind of fell apart on him, and he ends up falling way back. We're going to take a look at the final results. We talked about the top 3. And Caden Lemieux will be scored in the 4th spot, now plus 13 on the night, so a fantastic run for him. Calvin Crawley will be 5th. 6th is going to go to RJ Miller. 7th to Joshua Kunstbeck. 8th to Logan Kotelis. 9th to Brent Pryor. 10th is going to go to James Braswell Jr. 11th to Jason Smith. 12th to Joseph Grandy. 13th to Kyle A. Hardy. 14th to Trent Dalton. 15th to Travis Anderson. 16th to Randy Reeser. 17th to Ryan Hodge. 18th is going to go to Coy Vlies. 19th is going to go to Carson Rourke. And 20th to Michael Carter here tonight. We're going to see if I can get our interview started talking to Daniel Adam here tonight. If he is available, I do see one of our top 3 is ready to chat. We might move on and talk to him and see when the other ones become available. We will do so. Braden Carter in the 005 machine is available to talk to. Hey, Braden, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
All right. What a great run for you here tonight. Started 11th in this feature. Yeah. Moved up 9 spots. I picked you in our segment for drivers to watch, and you were able to work your way through the field, and you challenged a little bit for the lead. Had to battle Daniel Adam there at the end. And, man, we've seen some action all over the Eldora Speedway. What was it like picking your way through the top 10?
Man, yeah, it was really, really competitive field tonight. Just had to save a little bit of right rear. Got to the lead at one point. There was a car stopped in 4. Actually, my teammate, my dad, was stopped up there. I checked up for it, let Noah get around me, and I hammered the wall, and I just couldn't catch back up to him. And then me and Daniel got to battling, and then eventually I sat in 3rd, got past him on that last lap. Unfortunate things happen, but it's a part of racing, But other than that, clean racing, everybody had a lot of fun. Definitely a good track. I mean, the top was fun. That cut down work, the slider line was fun. Good win to Noah Carpenter. Good run to Daniel. We went slider for a good 20, 25 laps. Good run to him. Clean racing. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic show from the booth perspective and everybody at home. Tim, do you have anything for Braden?
Yeah, Braden, take us through your thoughts going into the night. Was there Were you practicing enough? I mean, this track was completely slicked off. Were you expecting that? Uh, I'm sure it was more uh, slicked off than everyone is used to. As in the officials, I don't know, maybe they're not that this long, but maybe you can give the viewers at home some insight, including myself.
Yeah, when you go into a 75 lap race with 5 heats, 3 mains, you got to really expect a slick track. I had to save decently for around 40-ish. I could have stayed a little bit better, but I was kind of playing a little bit aggressive, getting to the top to stay away from the guy behind me, then get back down, save the right rear again. But yeah, I kind of expected to get this slick. I mean, I don't know. I expected another line to come, another groove, maybe the bottom to come back in, but that never ended up happening. It's just Eldora slicked off the top. I mean, it is what it is. You know, for sure, um, it was really slick for about I'd say 40 laps, and it just kept getting blacker and blacker, and it was just ring around the top and the slider. But yeah, you have to go into long races like that expecting to save a little bit of right rear and not push your equipment all night.
Absolutely, Braden. Before we let you go tonight, who do you need to thank for the effort?
Yeah, I got to thank CSC Motorsports, my dad, Michael Carter, Kel Smith, Jonathan Higdon, Travis Anderson, Chase Hardy. It was for LC, Lynn Smith, Randy Carter painting my granddad, Twisted Designs for the wrap, yeah, SRA for the league, you two for broadcasting tonight. Usually tune in after and watch. Yeah, everybody that's a part of this deal.
All right, Braden, appreciate the kind words, and we'll let you celebrate the second place finish here tonight at Eldora.
Thank you.
All right, that was our second place finisher. The other two drivers are ready to go. We're going to move back one position, talk to Daniel Adam. Hey, Daniel, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
All right, man. What a feature. 75 laps the distance. Quite of a long one. Did you have to take time and manage your tires a little bit, knowing that we had 75 laps to go through this race, and then you were right there in the top three when it mattered most?
Yeah, I saved probably the first 45 laps. Just honestly ran a whole lot of the race with Braden. So, but yeah, we were just saving our stuff and being cautious, and felt like I probably had a car to win there at the end, and just got hit from behind and pancaked the wall with the right side, and I think it messed up the front end. But Noah and Braden both ran a really good race, and nothing to hang our head on.
No, absolutely. A fantastic run for you here tonight. Tim.
Yeah, Daniel, you were my driver to pick. Uh, Going all the way up. How difficult was it to set up the passes and finally complete the passes? Uh, what what was key for you to do all those?
Yeah, it got a little tough passing there about the last 30, 40 laps with the restarts. Just let the tires cool down too much, and they were a little burnt off. I think I started pushing a little longer. I started pushing about 10 laps before the first caution, which I was kind of kicking myself about. If I would have waited 10 more laps, I'd have had really good tires. But yeah, wasn't too bad to pass there in the first stage of the race, and then we kind of single filed out and just ran our race and let a few guys go, got by a few guys, but there at the end, it was really tough because how slick it was and how burnt off the tires were. So passing was definitely at a premium there the last few laps.
Yeah, for sure it was, Daniel. Tonight, before we let you go, who do you need to thank for the efforts?
Yeah, first I got to thank my spotter Troy. Fortunately, he didn't get to make the race there tonight, but he helped me out a lot spotting and kind of just reminding me to not burn my stuff up. And I got to thank my sim team, Excel Sim Sports, um, Speed Ranch Setups, and then all my sponsors in real life, Mobilization Funding, RLM Enterprises, SRI, Justin L. Langton Electrical, Restore Warehouse, Racing for Heroes, Swift Springs, American Racing Rims, Allen Automotive, Mapman Designs, Tricks Utility Services, Spiffy's Racing, VP Racing Fuels, Core Enterprises, Bilstein by Longhorn, Wesley Page Racing Shocks, Integris Risk Solutions, Rathbones Towing, iBuyCars. Um, I'm sure I'm missing some of our great sponsors. Mudslide, just everyone that helps us go up and down the road all year. And you can check out my website, danieladams75.com, to see all their details and see where we'll be.
All right, Daniel, we'll certainly appreciate you getting a word in here with us tonight. We'll let you celebrate the top 3.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right. Without further ado, let's talk to our winner here tonight. Hey, Noah, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You started in the top 5 and were there the entire night, just kind of slowly, methodically, got your way to the lead. And once you were there, you never looked back and came away with the big win at Eldora tonight. 75 laps was a long one and $40 to win. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's real good to come up here. I don't really race late models too much, more of a sprint car guy. But, good to come up here. I'm always a fan of these longer races, just gives you time to be slow and methodical, like you're saying. Don't got to do anything too crazy. We dropped back a little bit at the beginning, just trying to save tires. Knew it was going to get real slick, and then it's going to come down to a tire game at the end. So, first 40 laps about there, just kind of methodical, making sure I keep the tires under me. And then, last 35, it's a whole nother race to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. And you knew once you got to that point, you could just go whenever you needed to.
Yeah, we made that switch back up to the top. I'd been slower on the bottom for a little, just it's a little easier to save tires, and it had a lot of moisture down there, but it just kind of blew off pretty quickly, so we moved back up, and then it was just making sure you didn't spin them too bad up top. I was getting driven by it, but I just had to stay patient and make sure I saved all my stuff.
Absolutely. Tim.
Yeah, what was the key to saving the tire that you guys needed to potentially win this race?
Yeah, got to drive these things real straight if you're trying to save the right rear. Just rather than sailing it off in the corner, you got to enter real easy and keep it nice and pointed. Just kind of minimizing wheel spin, really. I mean, I think for that middle part of the race, I was never going more than like 3/4 throttle until I got to basically almost all the way down the straightaway. So yeah, you just got to make sure you don't spin them too bad, keep the tire temps down, tire wear down. Just make sure they last till the end.
Absolutely. You did that flawlessly here tonight. Noah, before we let you go, who do you need to thank for the efforts?
Yeah, I got to thank my team M9 Performance. I don't really get to race too much anymore, but I appreciate them for still giving me the chance and opportunity. I know they're not on the car, still got to get a paint done for these cars. But all my other sponsors, Hydro Clear Services, Loman Law Firm, Finland Chiropractic, Lyoli Construction, RW3 Services, Racetech Titanium, Tunjay Chassis. Anybody else I'm forgetting, I can't thank them all enough.
All right, Noah. Well, again, big congratulations on the victory here tonight at the Eldora Speedway. We'll let you get it celebrated.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was our top 3 interviews for tonight. As we start to wrap things up on round number 3 of this Lovejoy Speed Specialties series, Tim, takeaways from tonight.
Just amazing night of racing. These guys just wanted to prove that they were the best, and they certainly have. That's all I can say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had battles everywhere, starting from Heat 1, the drop of the green flag there, all the way to the checkered flag of our A main tonight. I mean, 2, 3, 4 wide action, some craziness. $40 to the winner, Noah Carpenter. We had it all here tonight on the Buckeye Racing Network. As we bring things to a close, I want to thank each and every one of the fans for tuning in, supporting us, supporting this league, and the drivers you're cheering on. It's always awesome to see. We always love the big viewer counts here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you'll know each and every time we go live. upcoming for us on the channel. We have a couple nights off. We won't be back live until this Sunday night with the League of Outlaws IMCA Style Modified Division. And then next Monday night, we've got the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Cars for round number 2 there. And of course, next Tuesday night, we'll be live with the Southern Racing Association Series at about 8:45 Eastern Time. That's going to do it for us tonight from the Eldora Speedway. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night, everybody.